The perpetuation or persistence of appearances or circumstances that you deem unfavorable or undesirable or contradictory mean nothing. Again, the perpetuation or persistence of appearances, whether they are factualized people in forms of people versions and in forms of circumstances, mean nothing. It does not mean your manifestation has failed. It does not mean your awareness is wrong. It does not mean that you have not affirmed enough. It does not mean that you are not specific or clear about your desires. It means nothing other than the meaning you give them. So my advice is to not give them any meaning, such as rationalize them, accept them, conform to them, whether they are publicly, majority-wise supported and factualized and sealed and stamped. It doesn't matter. It is not your job to give meaning if it is not what you desire or if it is contradictory to what you desire. So, give it no meaning, and if you must give it a meaning, make it mean that you are right on track, that your awareness is correct and clear, that your intention and desire is correct and clear and specific, and that you are still getting what you want because you know how the stuff works. So you can call it a molecular glitch, even though there's not a whole bunch of molecules, but since we live in a solid physical reality, you can say it's still glitching. And the page hasn't refreshed yet, like on your web browser. That is the only meaning you need to give it, if you do need to give it any meaning. Again, do not rationalize it. Do not accept it. Do not accept failure and say that your manifestation doesn't work or people have free will. Do not go via any of those routes. If what you want is what you want, do not lose hope or get discouraged that you're not getting your desire, and then change your desires because of that. A lot of people fall and succumb to appearances and circumstances and they change their desires. Don't do it because of that. Do it because you actually want to change your desires, not because you think it doesn't work. Do it because you actually do want a different desire. But yes, so that is the only way to get exactly that which you want in terms of outcomes, in terms of people, in terms of whatever. Anything you wish and desire is possible to objectively experience. So you don't have to persist in time and persist in vain and persist in sadness and discouragement and hope for it to go away. You don't. You just need to go back and return to your awareness and give yourself a pat on the back and say, I'm still doing everything right. I'm still on track. It's working for me. The appearances and circumstances, the molecular glitches, are unrelated to your world that you're aware of. If you can look at it that way, it'll help a lot. And I know it's difficult because they're in front of your face. You're a human moving around in an environment that's so raw and physical and real and solid and consequential, full of rules and regulations and dictums and other powerful people and organizations and hierarchies and whatever. You can't fight the appearances on your own by your own physical body and your physical mind. You can't do any of that. You need to go within and keep adjusting and renewing and re-awareing or changing your awareness to the world that you desire. Whether it's a specific anything, anyone, no matter how specific and or general it is. So nothing is beyond your reach. You just need to stay consistent in your knowing and persist in the sense that you go back and return home to the true home that is your awareness. So technically you don't need to persist in anything. You're not persisting against something to make something dominant and the other one less dominant. That is how it will work out. Something will dominate, which is your awareness, and the appearance that is part of the illusory flip will diminish or disappear in the face of your objectified world. So it's okay if your attention temporarily goes on the appearances and you feel feelings or you have reactions or you have to interact with them or not, or you have to take some actions, or whether it's forced or there's nothing you can do about it. That's okay. You can conduct. And conducting is not the same as accepting and changing your awareness. A physical body and a functional brain with that physical body functions and conducts. It does what it has to. It has to go to the bathroom, it goes to the bathroom. It has to eat, it eats. It feeds itself. It earns money. It interacts. It takes criticism, or it fights battles, whether in court or on battlefields or whatever. You have to do something. If the script, so-called script, or the environmental conditions and circumstances are forcing you to go a certain way, then go a certain way. That's okay. Succumb to the consequences if you have to, and work through them, with them, as you are called to. There's no use resisting or fighting them, so to speak, with your little body and brain. But once you go back inside, keep attending to your true story. Keep attending to your desired end. Like it's the only story that matters and exists. So that's why you can say circumstances and outer appearances and conditions don't matter, because only your awareness and your desired story matters. That is why they don't matter. It's not that they don't matter on independently of their own as being source, and you're just saying they don't matter. You're just repeating words that you hear from other people. They're just, not only they don't matter or are irrelevant, they're unrelated. That's why, because your awareness is the only objective world and the only thing that matters. Your story, your singular timeline of choice is what matters. Therefore, any contradictions or unfavorable appearances or conditions cannot matter in the face of what does matter. That's why they don't matter. So as long as you keep your head above water and you don't lose your mind and you don't lose your awareness and keep returning home to what is your truth and your desire, let the world dance in front of your eyes and do what it has to. Sign papers if you have to. Take a step back if you have to. Remove yourself if you have to, or do whatever you have to, knowing that your truth is what will prevail and objectify if that is your desire. And again, don't lose or change your desire via discouragement or hopelessness, do it because you know you can still get it, but you want something else instead. So I would highly suggest for those of you who are in that predicament is to actually try and get your desire first, and then you'll know what it feels like, and you'll know how the stuff works. Don't change your desire on the face of hopelessness and discouragement, or the appearance persisting too long. If you only knew and truly, and I mean truly, knew who and what you are and how things work, you actually would not be afraid to pursue your deepest desires. Regardless of time and anything, age and all those constraints, because you know it'll work out the way you want it, exactly favorable and satisfactorily, because source is I am as source, and I am as you, above your body in this physical world. If you want to learn more and you have more questions and you want to understand and dive deeper, leave comments or questions below and I'll address them, and I'll talk to you in the next video.